Hello everyone, welcome to this session on how to get a data scientist job in 2020. I welcome you all to this session and I'm really sorry for the late start of this session. There was some technical difficulty on our end, but now it seems to be resolved. Now, having said that, guys, let's go ahead and start on with the agenda to understand what all we'll be covering in today's session. So guys, we'll start off our session by first discussing who is a data scientist exactly, and after that we'll move on and see how to get a data scientist job. Once we're done with that, we'll move on and understand the data scientist's salary, and after that we're going to move ahead and understand for further learning how you can basically gain the skills to become a data scientist. Now, having said that, guys, let's go ahead and start off with the first topic, which is who is a data scientist exactly. Now, guys, data scientist is basically, if you talk about 30 to 35 years ago, there was no such profile called as a data scientist. But now in today's world, you will see that a lot of companies have now started to hire people who analyze their historical data, right? And these breed of people are called data scientists. Now, what is a data scientist exactly? So basically, data has become the new oil of the 21st century, which basically means that data is very, very crucial for any organization to have. Right? For example, if I get some 100 phone numbers today and if I run a business and I know that those 100 numbers would be interested in a particular service that I have to offer, those 100 numbers could give me basically a business of more than 10 to 20 lakhs based on what kind of service I'm offering. Right? So data could be anything. It could be phone numbers, it could be predictions, it could be anything. For example, if you talk about how much sales I would make in my next coming quarter, right? So if I could predict it correctly, imagine how important that piece of information is for me, right? And to get that information, what I need is the historical data of how I was performing in my company in the sales department, right? So this and more such scenarios are now possible by profiles such as data scientists, and that is why companies are now hiring data scientists to get these kind of insights in their business. And because companies understand the value of this data, the pay or the salary that a data scientist receives is in huge is on the upper margin of the highest salary in the country or in the world, right? So we will discuss more about it as we move along, but data scientists are among the top paying jobs in the 21st century right now, right? And it's one of the hottest jobs, which basically means that there are a lot of vacancies around the world, and we're going to also look at what kind of vacancies are there. There are a lot of vacancies around the world, but the only thing is there's a shortage in the supply of data scientists. Why? Because if you think about how our education system is, how what we are taught in schools, what we are taught in colleges, nobody is taught to become a data scientist. Now, with the current courses in place, there are a lot of statistical courses, there are a lot of machine learning courses which are coming up, but these have come up in the past 3-4 years. But if you think about a time which was, let's say, 10 years or 15 years back, there was no such course, or even if there was a course on, let's say, statistical computation, right? Nobody was interested in actually going in these kind of courses. People were more interested in learning Java. People are more interested in learning some other technology, but nobody was interested in going into statistics until and unless you basically had a zeal to basically go into that department. But nobody wanted to actually go in for a course like this because there was no kind of job wherein this could actually be used and be converted into a career, right? So that is why data scientists have started to emerge very recently, and that is because companies have now started to realize the power of data science. They've started to realize the power of data, and with that data they are able to predict future numbers for their companies. Okay, so who is a data scientist exactly? A data scientist is a combination of a mathematician, he's a combination of a computer scientist, and he's a combination of a guy who can spot trends in data, right? If you can look at trends and if you can understand patterns, then you have one of these skills to become a data scientist. Having said that, guys, now let's go ahead and talk about our next slide, which is where do data scientists basically come from, right? So data scientist basically assumes a lot of roles in his job profile, right? And he basically is a person who might be a data analyst in his current role. He might be a software engineer in his current role, right? He might be a manager who's managing a team of data analysts, right? Because like I said, nobody from colleges, nobody from schools is getting to learn about what is required in a data scientist. So right now in the profiles, in all the profiles where data scientists are basically being hired, they all are people who are making a career shift from profiles such as a software engineer, a data analyst, a support guy probably who is a troubleshooter, a data miner, a business analyst, right, etc. So if you are in these roles, or if you want to become a data scientist, see, I would not limit you to be in a particular profile and then become a data scientist. Anyone and everyone who has a zeal to learn, anyone and everyone who likes to play with data can become a data scientist. It's just that you will have to put in the effort to become that profile, right? And today in this session, what I'm going to do is I'm going to guide you to a path through which you can become a data scientist. Having said that, guys, so the point of this particular slide is that if you are sitting in these kind of profiles and if you're interested in become a data scientist, it'll be more easier for you, right? But if you still want to become a data scientist and you do not belong to any of these profiles, it's still okay, right? As long as you have the zeal to learn, you can just follow the path that I'm going to tell you today and you can become a data scientist in that case. Having said that, now let's go ahead and understand what does a data scientist basically do. So what we've discussed so far is who can become a data scientist and what exactly a data scientist is expected to do, right? But what are your day-to-day roles when you become a data scientist? So basically, he would be given data analytics problem every day. For example, let's say your sales dropped in the month of January. Now the company wants to know why it dropped so that they can fix whatever has happened. Now in order to get this kind of an information, somebody has to look into the data, understand what exactly went wrong, and that is exactly the problem of the kind of problem, one of the kind of problems that a data scientist solves, right? Getting to know the most appropriate data sets and variables. So whatever you're trying to create, whatever, let's say your company says that, I want to know whether, how good is 2020, the year 2020 is going to be for me. How much profit or how much growth am I going to see in the company with the current trend which is happening in my current company, right? Let's say in 2019 I've grown around 42%. If I do these things and with the older things that I was doing, what is the percentage that I can expect that I can grow, right? So for that you will have to understand what kind of data you will have to take in from the already existing database of the company, and based on that you would have to create machine learning models, you'll have to do predictions, and based on that you will get your output. So as a data scientist, it's your job to understand which data is important and which data is not, right? You should be well versed with unstructured data and you should know how to take in unstructured data and convert it into a meaningful data, right? You should be able to mine data from multiple sources. You should be able to mine data from social media and make sense out of it, right? So basically these kind of problems are big data problems. So you should be able to tackle big data problems in your day-to-day life once you become a data scientist, right? Moving forward, now I just told you about what a data scientist might do in his day-to-day job, who is a data scientist exactly, who can become a data scientist. Now let's understand how to get a data scientist job exactly. Now for understanding this, right, first let's understand what are the prerequisites of a data scientist. So first of all, he should have an effective verbal and visual communication skills. He should be good with, in talking. He should be good in creating or imparting knowledge through graphs, through PPTs, etc. Second thing is a data scientist should have a good team working ability. He should be able to gel up with people. He should be able to, get the resources that he wants from the other members in the company, because a data scientist basically can do his work once he gets all the data up to his table. Now, for getting that data up to his table, he will have to talk to a lot of people. He will have to tell them what exactly he needs, right? Now, as an individual, you cannot do everything on your own, right? You need to rely on other people for your own work. And especially if it's data which has already been existing in the company, and if it's data that you need in a particular manner, you should know how to basically be able to gel up with people. And for that, team working ability is again a requirement, right? You should have an interest in collecting and analyzing data, because like I said, a data scientist should be able to spot trends, should be able to understand patterns in a given data set, right? So you should be interested in doing that. If you're doing it just for the sake of doing it, probably you'll not get good at it, right? So you should be interested in doing all those things. And finally, you should have very good problem solving skills. So your analytical skills, your aptitude should be very high in order to become a data scientist, right? So if you talk about the educational background, so preferably it's computer science, IT, maths, statistics, and work X, let's say, in a related field. But like I said, it's not a mandate, because you might know if like for example, I'm an engineer and I know people who are from mechanical background who are into computer science. I have a friend who has done PhD in physics, and right now he's sitting in Google doing a software development job. So it does not matter what is your passion. The moment you realize it, if you start working on it, you can work up for that profile, right? So what are the prerequisites? These are the prerequisites to become a data scientist. But if you can work up these prerequisites, you can actually go ahead and start off with a journey on becoming a data scientist. And let me warn you guys, it's not easy, right? It is going to be difficult, but the end results are going to bear fruits to you all, right? Because like I said, data scientist is among the highest paying jobs which are available in the 21st century. Having said that, now let's go ahead and see some of the job descriptions, some of the companies which are hiring data scientists, right? What are they expecting in job descriptions when they start to hire people? So this is a job description from Spotify, and these are the skills that they expect in a data scientist. So the person should know stats. The person should know how to work with real world data rather than pseudo data sets. He should be good with advanced analytics with programming languages like Python or Scala. He should be good with libraries such as Pandas, SPSS, SQL database, right? And he should be able or be comfortable while working with large data sets, right? So also, so again, they have mentioned that you should also possess statistical competence, which basically means things like mean, median, mode, things like histograms, all these statistical terms should be on your tips, right? And finally, you should be good with statistical modeling and creating machine learning models. For example, predictive modeling, decision trees, classification models, etc. So you should know all this in order to apply for a job at Spotify as a data scientist. Now, don't get scared with all the skills that this company has asked for. It will be more clear to you as we move along. Let's look at one more job description. So here's a company called Nike. I am pretty sure all of you might be knowing about it. Now they also are looking for data scientists, and these are the kind of skills that they require. So they require a person to know data warehousing. He should know what is big data. He should know about business insights, how to derive actionable insights from it. He should know how to create processes for basically having unstructured data, converting into reasonable data that you need, and then converting into the predictive data that you wanted, right? He should be good with visualization. So that's the same thing that we were looking for, that you should be good with visualization skills when you have to impart some knowledge. So you should be good with graphs, you should be good with PPTs, etc. And in this case, When we talk about visualizations that have to be created by a data scientist, that is basically done by using various business intelligence tools like Power BI, Tableau, right? So these are tools which help you to create powerful visualizations, which also can change on the fly as the data is changing, right? So this is how you basically present data to stakeholders of a company. For example, the CEO of a company, or let's say the CFO of the company, or the CXO of the company. All these people, they want data to be in a graphical format so that they can understand it better, and it's your job to get it over there, get it in that format from the point where the data is scattered in multiple sources. You pulling in all that data, making sense out of it, doing all the modeling which is required, doing all the schema changes which are required, and then getting the future data out of it, and then creating a visualization for it. So this is going to be your job when you become a data scientist. And with all these skills that we have just discussed, for example, big data, for example, Python, pandas, creating pipelines, creating visualizations, let's now go ahead and talk about how you can gain all these skills, right? So till now I have been just addressing the problem. I've been just telling you what is the problem statement, what are the things that you need to know, what are the things that you will be doing, what are the things that you would need to do when you join in a company. Now let's talk about how you can start skilling yourself up for all these things. Okay, so we have made a course which basically matches exactly what is asked in your job descriptions. For example, I talked to you about big data. I told you about our programming languages, machine learning algorithms, deep learning, Python, BI tools such as Tableau, BI tools, or data statistical tools such as SAS, right? You should also be good with Excel, databases such as MongoDB, which is for unstructured data, databases such as MS SQL, which is for structured data. So with all these skills in hand, you can basically cover up each and everything which is expected from a data scientist in the job description, right? And this is a comprehensive program which will teach you everything step by step. And the prerequisites for this program is just that you should be good with your computer abilities should be good, and you should be willing to learn a programming languages such as Python, such as R, etc. Right? That is all that we expect. And if you have all these skills, and obviously if you have the zeal to learn, you can actually go ahead and attempt to learn from this course, right? Now, let me talk about the salary of a data scientist. So I will come back to the course later, but let me talk about the salary of a data scientist. So if you go in for this course, right, what kind of salary can you expect after completing the course and becoming a data scientist? So in India, the average salary of a data scientist is 16 lakhs per annum. Now, hear me out, guys. This is the average salary, right? I know people who are data scientists who are earning upwards of 40 lakhs an annum as well, and I know people who are earning salaries such as 8 to 10 lakhs as well, right? So no salary is bad. It's just that based on your skills, how much you know, you are basically given a package, right? So there are good data scientists and there are best data scientists as well. So a best data scientist can earn even a 50 to 60 lakhs package in India, having an experience of just 5 to 6 years also, right? Similarly, in the US, the average salary of a data scientist is $120,000 an annum. And like I said, this is also average salary. You can earn even more than this if you have, brushed up your skills in a way that you are better than the existing data scientists in the industry, right? So this is about the salary, guys. Now, what all company are hiring for data scientists? You have companies like Unisys, Fractal, IBM, EY, Edgeworth, Ola, Musigma, Oracle, Siemens, Truecaller, and many, many other companies who are looking for data scientists. And you don't have to quote me on this, but you can just visit naukri.com or indeed.com, just search for data scientists and look out for vacancies. There are more than 10,000 plus vacancies in the data scientist profile just in India, right? If you go to indeed.com com, or you go to the US version of the site or any other country for that matter, you will find similar numbers for the kind of vacancies that are there for data scientists. But the only problem is people are not able to qualify for these kind of jobs. Why? Because they don't have all the skills that the company requires, which is mentioned in the JD. And that is why this profile is also high paying, right? But like everything, like for example, if you are from a time when you started working in the 2000s, you would know that a Java developer in the year 2001 to 2002 was among the highest paying jobs at that particular time. But now that's not the case. Even a fresher knows Java enough to become a Java developer. Similarly, now is the time that data scientists, the industry of the data science is booming. It could be that later, let's say 10 years or 5 years or even 15 years down the line, the data scientist industry is all clogged up with people who know all the things, because right now competition is less. You can get those jobs, but later the competition would be more, and it'll be a little difficult for you to become a data scientist. Reason being, data science will now be started to will be taught in schools, it will be taught in colleges, and hence if there is any time to learn data science, it is right now, even if you take it from the perspective of being relevant to the current job that you are in, right? But because like I said, these kind of subjects will also now be taught in colleges, in schools, and in some colleges it has even started being taught. But like I said, they will not teach you everything which is required by a data scientist job profile. So the things that I mentioned are actual job descriptions that we have taken up, and those skills are needed to basically become a data scientist. And from the skills that you saw, those are not one or two skills. Those are all skills. Out of each skill, you can create a profile which exists in the industry right now. That's why a data scientist is a person who's a master of multiple technologies, and that's why it's a very hard profile to crack, right? But I showed you the way of basically going ahead and cracking it. How? Basically following the learning path which is mentioned in the course. You can learn it by yourself also. I'm not asking you to go ahead and take up the course and learn. You can go through the learning path of how things are taught in the course, and accordingly you can learn by yourself. But why we exist is because we understand that you as working professionals do not get time after your day jobs, right, or after your night jobs, and you get tired and you don't know how to start researching and start to study. So that's why we have done the homework for you, and we have curated a course which we basically conduct on weekends when probably it's a holiday for you, right? We conduct it at 8 p.m., 9 p.m., and at even 10 p.m. in the night, or even in the morning, 7 p.m. or 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. Why? Because we understand that as working professionals might have to go for another job once you attend the training, right? So we have instructors who are already data scientists who are working in the industry, who are going to teach you that particular subject, so it becomes more relevant to you because you are being taught from a person who is already working in the industry. So he will make you work on production data sets, on production problems, on production data, and hence you become production ready once you complete the course, right? So for further learning, guys, now why should you take up a course? Because right now whatever investment you are doing, the kind of results that you're going to bear from it are going to be humongous in front of the investment that you're going to make right now, right? So an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. So keep this line in mind. And with that said, I thank you all for attending today's session, and a special offer for all the people who are attending today's live session. If you go onto our website and check out our course, you would be given a 30% off by applying a promo code called YouTube30. So go ahead, guys. You can also call us on all these numbers which I mentioned over here, right? For India, this is the number, and for US, this is the number. You can call us up even if you're not interested to take up the course. If you're interested, just know how to, start your journey. Our course advisors are here. Our career path advisors are here. You can get career advice for free. Just call us and let's have a quick chat on how to take your career to the next level. With that said, guys, have a great day ahead and goodbye.